Hello and welcome to Nerd Subculture. I'm your host Jared.
And I'm Edwina.
And today, continuing once more with Feeling into Season 2, baby. I can't believe it. Season 2.
Season 2.
Episode 1.
When she was bad.
When she was bad. I had it here a second ago. I completely lost it. Released the 15th September 1997. Written and directed by...
Some guy.
Joss Whedon. Can we say his name? Will let us say his name anymore?
I don't know. I think he's been cancelled. Can you say people's name if they're being cancelled?
He's on the verge of being cancelled, yes.
No, I'm pretty sure he just got cancelled.
Oh, he did really?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. We'll get back to that one. Yeah. I'm back to...
Worst time to start a Buffy podcast ever.
Possibly, yep.
Yep.
Yeah, so going, new season.
And yeah, so this episode just finishes up the storyline with the Master from season 1. It's not a Monster of the Week one. It's just finishing up the arc from last season, pretty much.
Yeah, so not completely starting fresh, is it? That they still carry on usually when the next season episode pretty much just starts off with a fresh slate almost. But they're still. I suppose maybe it's the theme of this episode because the whole PTSD thing, like things aren't just over like in the snap of a finger. Yeah. You don't just get over it and things still linger. I guess maybe that's because of a constant theme throughout this episode.
Yeah, definitely. Also, season 2, everything gets a little bit better. Like I think they get a higher budget. The music gets much better because they bring in Christoph Beck, who is now like a huge Hollywood composer.
Yeah, really? What's he done?
Frozen.
Oh, really?
And recently he did WandaVision.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Now that is an amazing show.
Yeah, definitely. And the music in that show is pretty spectacular. So, yeah.
Are you telling me he's Mephisto?
Yes, he is Mephisto. Everyone's Mephisto.
Am I Mephisto?
Of course you are.
Oh, dear.
He takes over as the music director, and the score just becomes more melodic, and they get rid of that synth from the first season. That's constant.
It's like that cheap sort of Hallmark
horror
playback,
yeah.
where it just sounds like someone just kneeling on the keyboard, sort of.
Yeah, so they get rid of that, and season 2, the sound, like the composition of the music becomes sort of the template for the rest of the seasons to come.
It's kind of like I think that was it the Snow, or what was his name? The guy from did X-Files sort of started that trend of having that sort of long sustained organ music or synth music in the background,
so
which is really popular on that. And I think a lot of shows, even this show, was sort of emulating that sound. But everyone just makes it sound cheesy when they do it and less spooky and sort of haunting.
I always think that someone's just fallen asleep on their keyboard.
Yeah.
Also, what gets better is the lighting gets better.
Okay.
And I think the story arc of this season gets better.
Right.
As well.
We'll look forward to that.
So it's a little less cut and dry as who the big bad is, I suppose. Yeah.
All right.
So, yeah. Did you want to do the synopsis?
I'll get to the synopsis. Xander and Willow are walking on the outskirts of a cemetery. A tender moment ensues when Xander is about to kiss her when a vampire appears. Xander intervenes but is barely holding his own when Buffy shows up and kills the vampire. At school, Giles finds again and explains that although they have closed the Hellmouth, the mystical energy still attracts evil forces to the town. Cordelia runs into the gang, remembering her previous encounters with the supernatural, and promises not to tell anyone Buffy is the Slayer. Giles asks Buffy to resume her training after school. Whilst practicing, Buffy has a vision of the Master and begins furiously hitting a dummy. At night, she dreams of being killed by him. When she wakes, Angel appears in her room to warn her of the Anointed One. At the Bronze, Xander and Willow wonder about Buffy's behaviour. Buffy then arrives in a very revealing dress and mocks Angel. She begins a slow, sensual dance with Xander. Buffy brushes him off, having only danced with him to make Angel jealous. Meanwhile, the Anointed One and his acolyte Absalom are forcing their vampires to dig up the Master's bones barehanded through the consecrated earth. Cordelia confronts Buffy and tells her to get over her problems. After Buffy leaves Cordelia, she is kidnapped by two dark figures. They throw her into a basement with the unconscious Miss Calendar. Buffy walks to the grave that holds the bones of the Master and finds it dug up. At lunch the next day, Giles shares Xander and Willow's concerns about Buffy. He speculates that she has had a tough time handling her traumatic encounter with the Master. Buffy shows up to tell them about her discovery. Giles remembers the existence of some resurrection spells, and Buffy is angered that he never told her about them. That night, the gang learned that the resurrection spell needs the blood of the closest person to the deceased. Buffy thinks she is the target, as she and the Master were close. Cordelia's necklace, wrapped around a large rock, is thrown through the library window. Though Willow calls it as an obvious trap, Buffy leaves, saying in frustration that she cannot look out for them while slaying. Inside the basement, where she has been led, Buffy and Angel find one female vampire. Buffy realizes that the trap is not for her. At the same time, Giles realizes that the Latin text actually said the ritual requires the blood of those physically nearest to the Master when he died. In other words, Giles, Willow, Cordelia, and Miss Calendar. Giles and Willow are kidnapped by several vampires. Buffy returns to the library where she finds a blooded Xander, who is upset with her for abandoning her friends and threatens to kill her if anything happens to Willow.
Oh, God.
Buffy tortures a vampire for information on their whereabouts. Buffy interrupts the ritual and slays several vampires while Angel and Xander rescue the others. Before she leaves, Buffy smashes the Master's bones to bits with a sledgehammer. The next day, Buffy apologizes for her behavior and is pleasantly surprised to find herself forgiven. Meanwhile, the Anointed One gazes at the scene of destruction and simply remarks, "I hate that girl." The end.
That's it.
That's the one. Yay! Thank you. So, Eddie.
So this is the one where Buffy has PTSD, which is post-traumatic stress disorder from, dying.
Yes, so...
and goes into full self-destruct mode and trying to alienate herself from her friends and family. And no one seems to have any empathy for her. Giles sort of does. And I think Cordelia is the only saving grace who kind of calls her out for her behaviour.
Mm.
And, she sort of covers it up. Like, she doesn't want her friends to be in danger. So it's best not to have any. So I think that's kind of her thinking.
But just trying to push everyone away.
Yeah, and then she does that, the sexy dance scene to Chibamoto. It's a good attempt to alienate herself from Willow, Xander, and Angel all at the same time.
Yeah, she just pisses everybody off, doesn't she?
Yeah, and she, that flirty, like she goes in to kiss Xander, and this is, after the last episode, and she had made it quite clear that she has absolutely no interest in Xander.
Yeah, after he, pretty much, after she, refused his offering, quite flat out, which you defended. Well, she said no.
Yes.
And she gave no intentions that she was ever interested.
Yeah, and then in this episode, she gives all the signs that she's...
Yeah. Full on grinding on him too.
Yes.
Poor guy.
Yeah. And it is horrible to watch this scene. It's so awkward. She's also trying to make Angel jealous. She's pretty horrible to Angel throughout this episode. There is that scene where he's climbed through the window.
No, he didn't see him climb through. He was just there.
It's just there.
Maybe he came in through the front door. You don't know that.
Yeah, that scene, like you get Angel, like it always seems to be the case. You get Angel lit by moonlight through Venetian blinds. It's just very, like you should do a count on how many times it happens. And it is a little creepy and possibly the inspiration for Twilight.
What? This show?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, especially the creepy vampire sneaking in the window watching someone sleep.
Yes. So
you've never seen Twilight.
So you're saying this is all Buffy the Vampire Slayer fault, the whole Twilight thing? Is that who we should blame? No, I've never seen any of the Twilights. No. I keep saying one day I've got to watch them just for the sake of it, you know. But I think that moment's past now where they're completely irrelevant and no one talks about them anymore. They're just, you know, forgotten about now, I think, aren't they? Virtually?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. It's the best time to watch it.
Yeah.
So apparently David Borealis.
What do you call him, David Borealis? Boreanaz.
He was the master in the non-flashback footage. Did you know that?
What non-flashback footage?
When she saw the master for that second when she was doing a punching bag thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, apparently that was him dressed up as a master.
Oh, okay. Why did they do that?
Probably because they couldn't get the actor.
That makes no sense. Why did they do that?
They probably couldn't get the actor and just thought, oh, we'll just get some other guy.
The title is derived from a poem by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow, and it goes, and when she was good, she was very, very good, but when she was bad, she was horrid.
Yes.
Yes. So, had you seen this episode?
No, I haven't seen this episode. No, this is a new one.
Another new one for you?
Yeah, I haven't seen any of these episodes, so this is like going 13 straight, I guess.
13 episodes straight that you haven't seen?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and what did you think of this one?
Yeah, it was probably better than last season, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah? All right. Anything else you wanted to?
Oh, did you want to bring up the Chibo Mato band?
If you want to.
Yes. I brought them up. I never heard of this band before, have you?
Yes, I have.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Just from Buffy or other than that?
I think, it was just on Buffy that I heard them, and then I looked them up on Spotify and have listened to some of their music.
Yeah? Is it any good?
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Didn't seem like they had a very stellar career, though. Like, they had a couple of albums in the 90s, and then they virtually went hiatus for about 15 years or longer until about 2014, and they came back. Plenty of band members have come through. I think even one, Julian Lennon.
No, Sean Lennon.
Sean Lennon, was it? Sorry, Sean Lennon.
Sean Lennon.
The other one.
The other Lennon.
The other one, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'd never heard of them before.
Yeah.
What's this one about Buffy breaking the fourth wall? I've mentioned, I didn't notice her break the fourth wall. Did she?
Oh, I don't think it actually can't, I don't think it is breaking the fourth wall, what she did.
What did they say she did?
Oh, it's like talking, like she's like talking to herself. It's not breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's why I was curious. Like, I don't remember her breaking the fourth wall.
No, she's like talking to herself.
Well, that's a soliloquy. That's not breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah.
So when she talks to herself, what's a soliloquy? Is when they're talking out loud but not to the audience, sort of thing. But then when they talk to the audience, it's different. You know, like Deadpool or Clarissa Explains It All.
Yeah.
Where they actually look at the camera or Malcolm in the Middle.
Yeah.
Okay, well, this brings us into question time. Oh, get those questions ready?
Question time.
Oh, no, I did it wrong this time, did I?
Bastard.
Yeah, I stuffed it up.
Do you
Go
want to
on.
do it again?
No, that's fine. Let's keep going.
Right. Okay, which character was your favourite in this episode?
Maybe Angel, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, he was getting completely shat on by Buffy, but was still helping her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Putting up with her crap. And going up and grinding in front of a guy right in front of him. And he kept his cool about it. He didn't go up and punch him like, I would have done.
Oh, Bryce would have done.
Bryce. Yes.
Yeah, and I have to go with Cordelia. Like, she's
she's
fantastic in this episode. Like, Buffy is horrible to her. like downright mean to her. Which character do you love to hate in this episode?
Well, I think Buffy is got to be the answer to that question, I think.
Yeah, so I'm going with Xander, mainly for that one line where it's, if they hurt Willow, I'll kill you line to Buffy. It's just so, like, he just has no empathy for what's going on in her head. Like, she actually thought she was doing the right thing, by
pushing him away.
by
to save
pushing
him.
everyone
Yeah.
away. In her head, she's doing the right thing. Yeah, he just has no way of putting himself in her shoes.
Yeah.
And what she goes through on a daily basis as the Slayer. What was the most memorable fight scene?
I think the final scene at the end was pretty awesome.
Yeah, with them, like I always think that bit with them on the meat hooks, being sort of brought like, what do you call it? Like on a production, like a meat production line.
Yeah, was that really them hanging on that? That'd have been so
no
uncomfortable.
idea. That would have been horrible to do. But yeah, it really is horror movie stuff, that scene. But I will go with, I actually think my memorable fight scene, other than them dangling unconscious by their ankles, is probably like the dream sequence with Giles strangling Buffy.
Okay. Well, you said this is a fight scene, though.
Yeah, but they're fighting each other. Like Buffy's fighting.
Okay.
Like,
I thought you meant like kung fu fighting, sort of, actually.
Well, she's fighting him.
Well, not really. He's just strangling her.
Yeah, and she's fighting him.
Which is not really fight.
It's a fight scene.
Okay, all right, yeah.
There's violence in it.
Yeah.
It's a fight scene.
Okay, all right, yep.
They're fighting.
Well, yep, I'll pay it, yep.
Where Giles does he turn into the master or something?
Yeah, I think doesn't he rip his mask off?
There's like
doesn't she pull his face off or something,
I
maybe?
think she pulls his face off.
Yeah.
And it's the master underneath.
Yeah.
Yeah. LOL moment.
Probably the at the start with Principal, what's his name? Flutie? Schneider.
Schneider.
And he's complaining about all these horny teenagers Googling at the girls as Giles is there and how they all stutter and mutter when they try to say something. He's
when Miss Calendar comes up.
Oh, Miss Calendar. Yeah.
Turning every male into a bumbling idiot.
Yeah.
I have to say, I like when they're in the library and the rock goes through the window with Cordelia's necklace on it. And Buffy reads the note saying, "Come to the bronze before it opens or we make her a meal." And Xander says, "They're going to cook her dinner? I'll pretend I didn't say that." Who gets the wooden spoon in this episode?
Now, we just got to be clear in case people aren't sure what the wooden spoon is. The wooden spoon is a person who comes in last or who underperforms, not gets punished with a wooden spoon.
Yes.
If you want to be clear on that. And I think the person who gets the wooden spoon in this episode is the acolyte guy, Absalom, breaking rule number 1 of villain, monologuing.
Don't monologue.
He had him hanging over there, ready to go, and he was just yammering on. And he could have risen to master, but no. Had to rave on about all this other stuff, and it could have been done and over with, and they would have won.
He should have been cutting them open and bleeding them dry.
Why not do it at the same time?
Yeah.
Well, you want to, okay, we keep talking. Yeah, I'm looking. Yep.
Yeah, talk, and you can multitask.
Yeah.
Multitask.
Talk and gut.
Talk and gut at the same time. But no, he had to monologue.
Yep. That's
one rule.
Yeah, broke the rule.
And what's the second rule? No capes.
No capes. Did he have a cape?
He didn't have a cape. I actually gave it to the vampire bait, the girl who was dressed as the bait.
Yeah.
Mainly because she probably should have dusted herself so that she couldn't be tortured into the whereabouts of it, where her friends were. It sort of defeated the purpose of her being bait.
Oh, she could have had a machine gun and killed Buffy.
Why
don't they do that?
They did. Remember, they tried that. It didn't work. Remember, Darla tried that.
Maybe just try it again with more guns.
But it didn't work the last time. So
well, there was one person with 2 guns. Why not 10 people with 10 guns? Dodge this.
Okay. How did I know that you were going to bring this up one day? Why don't they just have lots of guns? And yeah, guns in Buffy, they just never work. They bring them in. Oh, actually, they do work. That's a lie. But not until probably later seasons.
Exactly.
Favorite scene?
the sensual seduction dance.
Oh, did you loved no, it's called the sexy Chibamoto dance.
Oh, is it? Yeah. Can I give a shout out to what's Sanders' actor's name?
Nicholas Brandon.
Yeah. It was a good working day for him, I reckon. I mean, it was a good, there's good days of work where you go home feeling good. He had one of those days then, I think. Because if he's noticed, he's just standing there. And she is just grinding on him. This is tough. It's a hard day at work.
Hard day at work.
Oh yeah, very, very hard.
Very hard day at work for Santa.
Very hard. Yes.
Okay. I have to say it's good. I'll read out the scene that it says after Buffy has finished grinding all over Xander, doing the nearly kissing him, like going in for a kiss and then sort of saying a really bitchy comment and leaving. Mm-hmm. Cordelia sees the whole thing happen on the dance floor. And she follows her into the alleyway and says to her, "You're really campaigning for Bitch of the Year, aren't you?" And Buffy responds with, "As defending champion, you nervous?" I think Cordelia's like, "Oh, I can hold my own." And then says, "Whatever's causing the Joan Collins chew, deal with it. Embrace the pain, spank your inner moppet, whatever. But get over it." Like she's the only one that sort of notices that she is dealing with some stuff. She's saying, do what you need to do before you lose everyone.
Yeah. And what did she call her?
A moppet. Spank your inner moppet.
A moppet. I thought she said muppet.
No, moppet.
A moppet.
Do you know what moppet means?
No, what's a moppet?
A moppet is a small, innocent child. I actually had to look it up because I was like, what the fuck is a moppet?
Never heard of a moppet.
Yeah, it does seem like a really weird term that Cordelia would use, but it's like a very old-fashioned term.
There you go.
Yeah. All right. Least favourite scene?
Probably the scene in the school locker room.
It's in the
hallway. Sorry, and then they first meet Cordelia, and she's a bit of a bitch to them.
She's not really a bitch.
Well, shouldn't you call them losers again?
No.
No?
Buffy actually calls her an idiot.
Yeah. Everyone just seems nasty in that scene. Everyone's just being nasty to each other for no reason, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, just it's sort of unwarranted, but I guess that's high school kids.
But it is also that scene where Cordelia's not pretending that nothing's going on anymore.
Yeah.
She's actually now part of the core gang, so to speak. Because she knows that Buffy's the Slayer.
Yeah. So she's, holding on to that.
I think you know what I'm going to say is my least favourite scene, and it's the scene with the vampires digging up the grave.
Yeah.
And as I'm watching it, because they've got two vampires with shovels, and there's like 6 vampires and only 2 shovels. And then they're like, get in there and dig. By the way, like I don't really know what the big time crunch was on what they had to get in there. So, but and the ground's being consecrated. Seems completely pointless if you've got a shovel. Anyway,
yeah.
But then like he makes like the vampires get down into the dirt, the consecrated dirt that burns them to start digging the bones up. I was like, why couldn't they just bring in? Like I'm sitting there watching it, going, why didn't they bring some more shovels? Like, just would have made more sense to just bring a few more shovels. Also, Giles did not bury those bones deep enough at all. Like, they're literally on the top. Like,
well, why even put them all in the one spot? Why not, like, scatter them over the earth?
Exactly.
Or smash them up.
Or smash them. Smashy to pieces. Yeah. Favorite quote from this episode?
I think it was towards the end, the fight when they're about to fight the vampires. While the guy was monologuing, and Angel says, "Oh, we need to distract the vampires." And Buffy's like, "Right." He says, "Oh, what are you going to do?" "Oh, I'm going to kill them all. That'll distract them. That ought to distract them."
Yeah. My favourite is by Snyder. It's the conversation between Snyder and Giles. And he's like, the first day back, it always gets me. And Giles says, yes. Principal Snyder then says, I mean, it's incredible. One day the campus is completely bare, empty. The next, there are children everywhere, like locusts crawling around, mindlessly bent on feeding and mating, destroying everything in sight in their relentless, pointless desire to exist. It's like Giles replies with, I do enjoy these little pep talks. Yeah, I just think I like that pointless desire to exist.
Pretty harsh.
But also followed by Angel's little line when they walk into the bronze and see who's the girl that's supposed to be the vampire Cordelia, or the girl that's supposed to be Cordelia.
Yeah.
And Angel's like, there's the bait, but where's the hook? Something's off in here. Something's wrong. There's the bait. Where's the hook? Who's the MVP of this episode?
Maybe Angel, I guess. It could be the MVP for this episode.
Yeah, again, I'm going to go with Cordelia.
Yeah, I had a feeling you would.
I do love Cordelia.
Yeah.
And now we've got the best Cordelia freakout moment.
Well, I think I might go for the Tuscany line at the start where she mentions about having a beachless summer, and having her parents force her to go to Tuscany and not to go to the beaches. I'll go with that one.
Okay, because there's no beaches in Italy.
Yeah, no nice beaches though.
Oh, there's some all right ones.
Yeah.
Oh, they've got the pebble beaches,
yeah,
so the
they're
water's
not nice
beautiful.
beaches.
Yeah, but the water's beautiful.
Yeah, but they're shit. Shit beaches.
They're not fun to walk on.
No. Also, no.
I like my favourite Cordelia freakout moment is at the end when she's talking to Miss Calendar about the worst part of being kidnapped and hung upside down to be sacrificed. Is actually the stains that she can't get out of her clothes no matter how much she dry cleans them.
I don't get that. Why is that?
I don't know.
What has that got to do with being
Because they were in a dirty basement.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
The stains in her clothes that she was wearing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny.
All right.
And final question. What do you rate this episode out of 10 using something from the show?
Okay, I'll give it 5 pebbles wrapped in necklaces thrown through windows.
All right, I'm going to go 5 sexy dances to Chibamoto.
I was thinking that one too, actually. Can we switch? Was there anything else?
You know, it is that thing. By the end of the episode, she works out all her issues by smashing his bones. Like, the threat really does feel like it's finally gone. Yeah.
Oh, the anointed one. I have a feeling we'll be seeing him again very soon. No?
Yes.
Yes? Okay.
But remember, he's a kid.
Yeah, they've got to get rid of him soon.
They've got to get rid of him pretty soon.
They age too quickly.
Because kids don't stay kids, and he's already starting to look older than when the show started.
Is that actor gone to do anything else?
Not that I know of.
No. Yeah.
Haven't really looked him up. Doesn't
check
look
him
familiar.
No, probably not. Okay, well, I think that wraps it up for another week, Eddie, doesn't it?
Sure does. Come see it. Come follow, like on...
Yes, please like, subscribe, write a comment, say hello. We'll say hello back. Not many people talk to us, so it'd be nice to have a conversation with someone.
Yeah.
Check us out, Twitter,
Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. There's a Facebook page.
Our Podbean. Come say hello. We'll say hello back. Take care.
Bye.
We'll see you next time.
I haven't done a grr arg for a while, have I?
No.